Okay, so, hello. Today I just thought I'd make a video discussing at least my vision for for the future of the Metal Gear series. So, thanks for clicking on the video. My plan is simple, honestly. First of all, about the apparent leak or rumors, because I don't believe it, that they're just doing another HD collection with Twin Snakes added in. That is a horrible idea. An awful idea, honestly. Sure, it'd make money off of those few people who still don't give a shit and will support Konami. But, yeah, that's low effort. It doesn't show that they, have any future plans for the series whatsoever. And it also takes away any possibility of getting proper remakes. Due to Konami just believing, oh, well, we just released another HD remaster, there's no point for a remake. So, how do you justify getting every Metal Gear game remade to Konami? Well, you have to give them an idea that is both cost-effective and guaranteed to make money. So the idea is simple. We start out with 2 games. And these games include remaking of fan favorites and a brand new game. The fan favorite being remade will be Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. And the new game will actually be a free-to-play standalone version for Metal Gear Online 4. If you don't know what Metal Gear Online is, it's simply the multiplayer component for Metal Gear Solid 3 was Metal Gear Online. The multiplayer component for Metal Gear Solid 4 was Metal Gear Online 2, and 5 is Metal Gear Online 3. So, instead, if you remove that, separate it from the main game, have it be a free-to-play title that takes content from the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, you will hit a broader audience. The point of separating them is both for that broader audience, but also to allow for a lot more development to go into the game, to really separate it from the other title. For example, well, not really for example, but the main purpose of this would be, and hear me out on this, a Battle Royale mode, using the combat and strategics, probably not the best word, however, using the gameplay of Metal Gear Solid 5 in a Battle Royale setting would simply be unparalleled to any other Battle Royale game. It would be better than any other game of that genre. However, there is massive competition in that space with Fortnite. Any other game, Metal Gear would clearly just beat instantly. But Fortnite has a massive amount of crossovers, which is really its only positive. The rest of the structure around that game is simply very basic and would be one-upped by using the gameplay of a Metal Gear game. So let's get out of that, and why do I want a Battle Royale? Again, it's obviously just because it would be the best Battle Royale game ever made, but also it could be just really fun. I don't know how else to put it. It'd be the best course of action that Konami could possibly take currently, because I don't have faith that they'd be able to do any story thing with the Metal Gear series that would make anyone happy. So back to the plan. Why remake Metal Gear Solid 3 as well as do this Battle Royale game during the same time? Well, it's simple. For cost effectiveness, the Battle Royale game would be taking content from the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Not only that, but... apologize for the chair. But this would lead into a remake for every game in the entire Metal Gear series. You might ask, okay, how or why? Why is... oh, actually, let's go into how first. First, we start with Metal Gear Solid 3 because it's the beginning of the timeline. We would then move into Portable Ops, Peace Walker, Metal Gear Solid 5, which I'll get to it. Metal Gear, Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 4, and then from there, possible that we might remake spin-offs or other games in the series. We'd be remaking them in the order of which they take place in the continuity. So, the question is, why remake them in this order? Right? Because you'd think, why not just remake the older games first? After all, they need the most work. And the answer is simple. Starting with Metal Gear Solid 3, which is the uncontested fan favorite of the entire series, even though it's not my personal favorite. The assets are already mostly remade thanks to the Pachinko machine that Konami made, and it would definitely be the best starting point for the Battle Royale, because the content that you would be porting over there would have the simplest, most basic, less technology advanced items and weapons, you know? And then every season of the Battle Royale, get a brand new map, and it goes forward in the timeline, so you get more and more advanced technology as time goes on. But it depends on which map you're playing on. So, remaking all the games is really the priority here, and the best way to get Konami to do that is definitely to have a standalone Metal Gear Online game that can take content from all these remakes. Simply, or similar to what Call of Duty is doing with their Warzone, making it more of a standalone, taking content from each and every yearly Call of Duty release now. Doing this with Metal Gear would guarantee a large player base, I believe. And having it free to play would mean that those people who still hate Konami and really don't like anything that they stand for, they can still play the game, have fun, just don't spend any money on it. Simple. So I will now go into how Metal Gear Online 4 would work with this Battle Royale mode. This is also... Sorry. This is also pretty simple. The point of Metal Gear Metal Gear Online 4's Battle Royale mode is to just have a really fun experience. But of course, Konami is going to want to be making money off of it. You can't just release something completely free to play. So there's going to be a battle pass. Like every other fucking game out there now. The best way, I believe, to do this would be... There are free rewards within said battle pass.
Please select a mission.
Free ones that you can receive without having to...
Please select a mission.
Sorry, I'm distracted. Without having to pay for it. I believe that the free items should be costumes that guards wear in the games. So for Metal Gear Solid 3, you would have the KGB outfits, you would have the outfit that the Major wears, just any outfit that you see a guard wearing throughout the game, that's there. In the Battle Royale itself, you earn points, okay? Some sort of currency. With this currency, you can buy camos for your outfit. So you can have any style of guard outfit for free, play the game, earn the points, get whatever camo you want. Easy, fun, a lot of customization there already. Buying the Battle Pass will only get you weapon skins. Actually, you know, keep weapon skins free as well. Why not? Buying the Battle Pass instead will get you outfits for main characters throughout said game. And bosses as well. So, at the beginning of this Metal Gear Solid, or Metal Gear Online 4 Battle Royale, you start with the basic guard outfit, and green camo. After all, you're in a jungle. It's a map that has all the all the important areas from Metal Gear Solid 3, just restructured to be a 100-person multiplayer map. So the layout would be slightly different, but kept as close to the original as possible. So you'd be playing the game, just having fun playing this Metal Gear Battle Royale. You earn points, you get different camos. Every new game release, there's going to be for every remake that gets released, there will be a new Battle Royale map for you to go through, and a new Battle Pass. But the Battle Pass will be for that specific map. So if you want to unlock stuff, say from Metal Gear Solid 1, you would have to be on the map that's based off of Metal Gear Solid 1. If you want to unlock stuff for Metal Gear Solid 3, you'd have to be on that map. so on and so forth. This is a good way to make it so the content is still able to be gotten by people without forcing them to buy it at later dates, by making it map specific. I believe that that's the best way to do that.
Outpost captured.
I also believe that this game can have its own crossovers with either other Konami franchises, possibly movies even. You can see actors' likenesses being used in the game. After all, it's Metal Gear. A fun, goofy game, so it doesn't really have to have super realism. Like something like Call of Duty would feel very off having the likeness of an actor used, at least in my opinion. But for Metal Gear, I believe that having crossovers with maybe new releases of movies or older movie franchises would be great and just a lot of fun.
He's coming too. Roger that.
But the thing is, with every single map, it's based off the game, so you only get the weapons from that game. You also get the items from that game.
You gotta extract him.
So if you play the Snake Eater map, you have very basic items. You don't get assault on radar, you don't get really any of the technologically advanced stuff that you get in later games. Things definitely will have a battery meter, which will burn out rather fast. Suppressors will also die very quickly. But with each and every new map, the technology gets more and more advanced. So, that would mean everything that you're using lasts longer, is more effective. Just... There are dogs barking, I apologize. Everything you use will last longer, be more effective, and honestly just really change things up, so every map plays completely differently from the last, without actually changing the game itself. Multiplayer for the game will allow you to use any and all weapons and items from these games. Of course, there will be some sort of balancing system. Perhaps you have points, and you can only use a certain amount of points on your character to buy specific equipment. And that, after all, that is what Metal Gear Online 3 did. Makes sense, it works, simple, basic. So with this system of buying weapon camos, buying normal camos, needing a battle pass only for special character outfits, such as Snake's jungle fatigues or Snake's sneaking suit from Metal Gear Solid 3. The system, you still get all the guard costumes, you can remove parts such as the mask, if you want your character's face shown. You can get normal other clothing that will be part of the game as well. Sorry. Distracted again. The point of doing all this,
He's coming too. Roger that.
point of doing all of this work, all of this content in one singular place is to have a Metal Gear Online that doesn't die. Have a game that can theoretically go on forever, with crossovers, new content, just added into it. Of course, it will eventually go away. And hopefully, by then, everyone would know what people want out of Metal Gear. And we could just make something brand new. So now let's get into the remakes. Everybody wants remakes of the Metal Gear Solid franchise. Nobody really talks about ever getting any brand new games, because I don't believe anyone has faith that Konami can make a brand new Metal Gear game. I'm also in that boat. However, I would say that if they are going to remake the games in this plan, I think every single every single remake that gets made should include a port of the original version of the game as well. For example, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater would get a port of Metal Gear Solid 3, and also a port of Metal Gear Solid 3 for the 3DS. I think that that's the best way of getting the classic versions preserved, and also having these brand new experiences taking place in the same world, same story. Nothing's too changed except for the gameplay.
Extraction arrived at Metabase. Supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
The point of preserving the old games as well as getting these full remakes out there is for the fans, really. It's for the fans, it's to make sure that nothing dies. Okay? I think that all the games should be preserved in their original state, as well as any other remakes that were made. So, if we go forward, let's just go through every title in the series, right? I already said what Metal Gear Solid 3 would have, which would be a full port of probably the subsistence version of Metal Gear Solid 3. I would say to re-add this Ape Escape mode, though, and any other content that wasn't included. But also have the 3DS version just ported. The only changes really made would be to make it compatible with modern systems, but have everything preserved the way it originally was. Then we move on to portable ops, which would have to have a couple of changes, such as it running at a much higher frame rate, much higher resolution, and having better controls.
He's coming too.
For example,
Roger that.
You can emulate portable ops and actually do a 60 FPS patch, but you're always either going to be moving with the D-pad, which you can assign to a stick, but you still have only 4 directions, or you might be aiming with the D-pad, which is arguably worse. So, the controls would have to be changed a little bit there to fit modern systems. Metal Gear Portable Ops also has it has a sneaking button. Rather than being able to move the analog stick a little bit to walk and a lot to run, it has it so you have to hold down a button or just toggle a button to walk. And that's pretty archaic and does not work. It takes away from playing it on an emulator, so that change would also be simple. Just allow for full analog movement and full analog aiming as well.
The map has been updated.
Those are the only changes that should be made there. Portable Ops would also probably just come with the content from Portable Ops Plus, just packaged in. Might as well preserve everything about it. Then we move on to Peace Walker. Peace Walker already has a great HD version that was ported. Fantastic. It only had a couple things removed. For like a couple of t-shirts advertising Axe body spray and stuff. Honestly, I don't think those are necessary to put back in the game. It would be nice to get a couple of new t-shirts though, to replace the lost content, because why not? Then we go to Metal Gear Solid 5. Why do I bring up quote-unquote remaking Metal Gear Solid 5? It just came out 7 years ago now, actually. But it still looks damn good and it plays fan-fucking-tastically. So, when I talk about quote-unquote remaking Metal Gear Solid 5, I don't mean actually remaking it. I mean re-releasing it, but finished. So, the point of remaking all the games before this are to really convince Konami that adding more content to Metal Gear Solid 5, you know, just re-adding the cut content, and properly finishing the story. Properly connecting it to the original Metal Gear without making a new game. Just adding on to MGS5.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
And that is kind of the point. That's kind of where this all started. So once we get to that part, simply just do that. Very easy, very simple. Finish the content. A lot of the stuff is already complete there. Just need to add it, honestly. Smooth it out a little, and it'd be perfectly fine. Then we're gonna move on and remake Metal Gear. Remaking Metal Gear will be more of a challenge, but with all the other remakes under the belt already, I believe that they would have enough skill to actually properly remake the game and make it make sense to the continuity of the story. For example, You're not going to straight up tell the player, oh, Big Boss wasn't really Big Boss this whole time.
Extraction
It was
arrived at
Venom
Mother Base.
Snake.
The weather will clear
No,
shortly.
that's not going to be there, but there will be new dialogue completely rewritten to make more sense with how the characters have been portrayed. And just truly bring everything together. This remake of Metal Gear will also include the MSX version of Metal Gear and the NES version of Metal Gear. Why do I think the NES version should be preserved? I honestly don't, but it's really not even anything. Like, it takes nothing to preserve it, so might as well for any person out there who's a diehard for that version.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
I also think that the remake of Metal Gear should allow you the option to either parachute in, like the NES version, or to go in through the canal, like the MSX version. That'd be pretty cool and allow for replay value. And completely different ways to infiltrate the building. It's simply a cool thing that could be done and allow for
You gotta extract him.
replayability as well as just something new, something interesting.
You have arrived at your destination.
Then we get to Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake. So Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake. It's a game that shares a lot in common with Metal Gear Solid, which has been pointed out, that Metal Gear Solid's practically a 3D remake of it. But I think this actual remake for Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake could
Roger that.
really
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
change it up a little, make it more unique to itself. Of course, not changing anything too much at all,
You gotta extract him.
because I definitely want to keep things how they're supposed to be. But in this game's story, things would be changed up. You would have Big Boss telling Snake that he's his father, as is said in Metal Gear Solid 1, even though it wasn't originally said in the MSX2 version. We then move on to Metal Gear Solid.
Commencing platform construction. Commencing platform construction. Commencing platform
Metal Gear Solid
construction.
is my favorite game in the
Commencing
series.
construction. Commencing platform
I don't like Twin
construction.
Snakes because it plays like Metal Gear Solid 2, and I do not like how Metal Gear
Platform
Solid 2
construction.
plays.
Plant expansion complete.
However, I do think that it deserves to be preserved as well, and the full remake of Metal Gear Solid should have the ability for a orchestrated version of the original soundtrack from the PS1 game, the full just MIDI PS1 soundtrack, as well as the Twin Snakes soundtrack, even though I don't like it. The cutscenes, however, in the game should definitely be more like the PS1 counterpart rather than the remake. Yeah. Then the ports included will be the PlayStation 1 version, with the included VR missions, and, of course, Twin Snakes. Even though I don't like Twin Snakes, I think it deserves to be preserved. And we get to Metal Gear Solid 2, which is another easy one. Just full remake, full gameplay thing. And then preserving basically the HD version, but re-adding in the skateboarding minigame that they cut out. That's it. Then we get to Metal Gear Solid 4, which is a game that has never been ported off the PlayStation 3. So that one definitely needs a port. One thing I forgot to mention is I believe that online functionality for all these games should be brought back as a peer-to-peer connection rather than a server-based connection though. So Metal Gear Solid 3 would have its original online available in the ported version, as well as Portable Ops, Peace Walker 5, and Metal Gear Solid 4. They should all have Metal Gear Online, fully functional, and there, you know? How it was, except no servers, peer-to-peer connection, simple, easy, still there. Yeah. So, Metal Gear Solid 4, the remake, really just gameplay changes, honestly. Gameplay and graphical changes, I suppose. And then the port, just exactly how it was, except better frame rate. Actually, I think the remake should have, like, a couple extra options added in. For example, if you played the previous remakes, like if you played Metal Gear Solid 1 remake, let's say, I think that you should unlock the Metal Gear Solid 1 sneaking suit for Metal Gear Solid 4. Same with Metal Gear Solid 2, probably other things as well. Maybe different faces that you can have for the Octo Camo, just whatnot, you know? Just add more content, because why not? Then, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4 would basically be the end of this. Or the potential end. Because after that, it's been 9 years. 9 full years. Remaking a game once a year. Adding all this content. 9 years of full support for Metal Gear Online with all these games perfectly remade. And all these ports added as well. That's a lot of content. That's a lot of years.
He's coming too. Roger that.
At the end of that, once everything's like that, all this is done, a decision needs to be made. Do we keep supporting Metal Gear Online 4? Do we keep remaking games? Is it worth it to remake the spin-off games in a more Metal Gear style? Would people be interested in a Metal Gear Acid 1 and 2 remake that play like Metal Gear Solid 5, rather than the turn-based card game that they originally played as? These are all questions that would eventually get answered here. But it takes 9 years to get there. 9 long years of working on Metal Gear Solid games. All the experience from all that. Also have another option. can go on and make a brand new game. After all, they have 9 years of experience. We're able to flex the creativity with the remakes of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. I really think that if all these games get remade in this structure, in this way, that's the only way that anyone from Konami could potentially make a brand new Metal Gear game and have it feel like Metal Gear still. Have it not feel like just some chopped together, thrown together junk that someone just shat out. And a funny thing about this is I've had this plan for a long time. I've had years and years to think about it. Think about every possible part of it. What would need to be changed with every remake. I've actually emailed Konami about this plan before. I got a reply. The reply was, "Thank you for caring about our game." And that was it. I gave them a perfectly valid, fantastic plan for Metal Gear, a 9-year plan for the series that no one could really get angry about. After all, you're getting full remakes of the games. If you don't want the remakes, you got ports. You have modern ways to play all these games. There's nothing to be angry about. But, you know, I really don't think that Konami even paid attention to me when I sent them the email. I can't blame them. I'm a nobody. I have no experience in game design. I'm just some person who had an idea, sent it to them. They said, "Thank you for playing our game." That's it. I tried, I attempted, I put myself out there, I gave them the idea. It's been, I'd say, 4 years, probably, since I said that to them. So I'd say it's basically confirmed that they're not going to do that. And these rumors of them putting out just another HD collection with twin snakes instead of fucking Peace Walker, it sounds like Konami. I think the actual future of Metal Gear is very bleak. I don't see it going anywhere good. Which is why I'm making this video. It's more of a last desperate attempt to save the franchise from uncaring arms that it's in right now. Because at the end of the day, I love the Metal Gear franchise. I always have. Well, not always. Ever since I first started playing them, I have. And I don't want it to die. I don't want it to be gone. I think it still has potential for at least one last thing, and that being the Battle Royale game.
Leave the rest to us.
Something that can just make everyone happy for a little while. Remaking all the games, having a 9-year plan with this Battle Royale, full Metal Gear Online experience, probably new game modes, just one last hurrah for Metal Gear before we move on, try to make something else, try to make something new,
You gotta extract
or
him.
let it die. I do think that this is the best case scenario,
The map has been updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
but I also know that Konami did not listen to me, and I don't think that they ever will. So I'm not going to hold out hope that they'll listen to this video. But I really hope they do. I really wish that they would listen to my idea. Hell, I would go on, work for free, absolutely goddamn no money at all, just to make sure that this stuff gets made properly. That none of this gets tainted. That they don't get super greedy and change everything I care about. Everything I came up with. But the fact is, there's really nothing I can do.
You gotta extract him.
Unless I go out, make my own game design company, fully prove myself in every possible way, and then take the idea through.
Boss, get down. The enemy sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
If they are unable or unwilling to take this route that I've suggested, then I believe that Metal Gear should stay dead. Because any other direction that they could take the franchise, I don't see it possibly being good at all.
Subject on board.
It would just be a ghost of its former self, and just not worth playing. I appreciate you people listening to this video,
Please source supplies.
and I hope that
Supply drop
my idea at
complete.
least interests you, you know? Maybe if this gets enough attention, people can all cry out to Konami. Get them to do something. I don't see them properly executing my idea without a helping hand forcing them to not stray away from it.
Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
Sidewalks list updated.
But yeah.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Marker placed.
Again, thank you for watching the video. I'm sorry that there's not a lot of editing here or really anything super professional. I'm not really a video maker. I only make a few things for fun. I'm simply a guy with an idea, and I wanted to share it. I wanted to put it out there. And I really hope that Konami hears this and actually listens this time, and they actually go through and do this, because it's the best case scenario for this franchise. At least that is my belief.
Caution.
If you
rain
think
approaching.
somehow that you could make it better, you could do something that Konami would be okay with, and just convince them to do that, go ahead. You put it in the comments. I'd like to hear your ideas too. At the end of the day, I'm just a Metal Gear fan. I don't want the franchise to die like it has. And I think that this is a good idea. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or a great night.